It is my pleasure to have on Amanda and Mark Phelps. Thank you very much. And we're going to talk about Devyn's charm. You're in the Navy. Thank you very much for serving our country.
Oh, thank you.
As a submariner.
That's correct.
Yes. So thank you very much. You came on to talk about your little girl. Now you have 3 little girls. Mm-hmm. You have an older child who's 9, and you have twins that are now 7. When the twins were born, something happened. What happened, Amanda?
Well, about a week before the girls were delivered, 10 weeks early, which they decided they were ready.
They were crowded in there. They wanted to get out.
Yeah. We learned that Devyn, the older of the 2 twins, had a rare disorder where her bones in her skull were fused prematurely, and when they were born, we learned that it was a disorder called Apert syndrome, which, in addition to...
Now you're thinking, what?
Yeah, exactly.
Lots of things are wrong.
Yeah. Yes, all sorts of, her skull, again, was fused prematurely. Her facial bones were dished or flat. Her fingers were fused. She had some other health issues for her lungs and breathing, and some brain issues, and all sorts of things that we weren't expecting.
So you have one, and they're 10 weeks early,
yes.
So they're both in the hospital.
Yes.
And Devyn is about 8 months in the hospital, and Dylan comes home.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So you're a military family, you're out on a submarine, you've got to do your thing, you're a new mom, you've got 3 kids. The walls start caving in a little bit to try to figure out financially how this goes. How did you do it?
Well, the Navy's got a lot of different programs in place to kind of help with that type of financial relief. And unfortunately, in some ways, the social programs that are available at the hospitals, a lot of military on paper don't really qualify for. So at the time, 2007, 2008, gas was $4.75 a gallon. It's 50 miles from our home to the hospital,
which is in New London, and
yep.
She was being treated at Yale.
Yep. So about 50 miles from door to door, and none of it was covered. And then $12 a day to park, gas, food, and all we wanted to do, honestly, was just support our daughter and just be there to kind of figure our way through the whole situation. And the financial strain kind of caught up with us. And then when it all was said and done, and we were finally home and happy and healthy, and Devyn was back home with us after a very long period of in and out of the hospital, multiple surgeries, we did a little fundraiser campaign, just a personal fundraiser campaign to help out other military families like us that were going through the exact same thing, whether it be a child with cancer, whatever the nature was. And it had a larger than anticipated response. So from there, we just started in with getting incorporated with the state of Connecticut. And then almost a full year later, when we started, we got our response back from the IRS as a 501c3 public nonprofit charity. So
you named it Devyn's Charm. And what you're trying to do is, and I'm just going to read your mission statement, improve financial and emotional well-being of military families whose children are experiencing hospital stays. So that was your sweet message to start out, and you said, okay, we're going to get some folks together and we're going to help. What started happening? You've got a website up, Devyn's Charm. What started to happen? Did it start to mushroom? What happened here?
Well, honestly, where it started was, I don't know how many times we'd be inpatient at Yale. Mm-hmm. Devyn would have had a surgery, or she was just in for an infection, whatever the case was. We would get one of the child life specialists come through the door with a $5 Dunkin' Donuts gift card. Say, hey, there's another family here that donated a bunch of gift cards. Here you go. $5, it's not much. It's a cup of coffee for both of us, but it's the 10 minutes that it takes just to step outside of the hospital, walk down a block to the Dunkin' Donuts on the corner, get a cup of coffee, and just, hey, you know what? Somebody cares, and it's just the morale builder of that was huge, and that's kind of where it started. Just as a small organization, we couldn't do much, and just the 2 of us, we couldn't do much, but it was something that we could do to let people know that what. There's other people that have been there. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of where it started, and from there we're kind of figuring out.
You're finding your way,
yeah.
Right? So you've had a music festival. Mm-hmm. Was that the first one that you had?
Yes.
And tell me about it. It happened last year. So what happened?
So as the organization has grown, as we've started to have a larger support base, Devyn's favorite thing is music. One of the only things she was able to do when she was, an infant laying in the hospital bed was listen to music. And we made sure that she listened to everything from classic rock to reggae to, show tunes and, old pop standards. And the nurses would always come in and say, "Ooh, can we get a copy of your mix CD? Because it's, we want to listen to it too." So music has really been something that Devyn enjoys and makes her happy. So as our major fundraiser, we decided to turn that into a music festival. And this past September, down at Eastern Point Beach in Groton, we had our first annual Counterpane Music Festival. And a counterpane is an old word for a quilt, which comes from the poem The Land of Counterpane by Robert Louis Stevenson, which is about a young child who's ill, laying in bed, and their imagination goes wild with their toys and that sort of thing. And so it fit perfectly for the mission of the day. And we had 4 bands, over 300 people, 5 food trucks. It was a beautiful sunny day down on the shoreline, and we're really excited to start planning year 2.
So I'm thinking this is going to snowball too. Now, you had 300 people show up. Mm-hmm. So now we're going to give you a lot of publicity so we can get more folks. Now, where's the money going? How are you divvying this up among military families?
So we have part of our mission statement is to relieve, rally, and empower. The relieve piece is the real easy piece. That's we have a charm chest program where we put together gas cards, parking vouchers for Yale, and food gift cards, so Dunkin' Donuts, Subway. And those go into a bag that's given to the child life specialist down at Yale. And then when they come into a family that's there for longer than 3 days, they'll give them one of these. It's a little morale builder. So that's the easy piece. The other piece are the rally piece, which we're trying to fill with the music festival, not only as a fundraiser, but also to kind of rally awareness for families with special needs. The one thing we've never done with Devyn is treat her like a handicapped child or a special needs child.
As you're talking, let's show your kids too, so that the folks know who your kids are.
So we
They fish, they hike, they camp, they mountains.
Devyn was home from the hospital in 2009.
Yep.
And she was on a ventilator and a backpack, and we took her to the top of Mount Washington. It was raining and snowing, sleeting sideways, the wind was blowing. She wasn't happy about it, but we did that. We've done multiple different things with Devyn, and that's kind of the rally piece, is to get the community around a group of families with children with special needs, so that way, they see that, you have a kid with special needs, that doesn't mean that,
you can't.
You can't do anything. It's more of a can do. I don't want to sound overly cliche.
No, not at all. This is Devyn.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got another picture of her and your 2 other children. Mm-hmm. And we have one more shot of Devyn. I love this picture. Absolutely love this picture.
She likes to be the center of attention.
So you don't treat her any differently. She's in school, she's doing all of this, but where do you think this program is going to go? And why did you name it Devyn's Charm?
So when I started the Facebook page, I kind of mulled over a couple of different names, and that one of them, Devyn's got a trach, so her communication ability wasn't really there, and there's something about her charm that she wants to communicate, but she can't. So it's like, Devyn's voice, and it just didn't really stick. And then when you meet Devyn, and should
have brought Devyn.
Yeah, we should have brought Devyn. But when you meet Devyn, she's got a charm that is unlike any other kid. Like she has her limitations, and that doesn't stop her, and she will be the center of attention every time she gets the chance. So it just kind of stuck. Devyn's charm, and plus the twins were born on July 7th of 2007. So 7707, there's a little bit of luck in there. Irish family, we figured.
Lucky charm.
What has she taught you about yourselves? I mean, no one is prepared for this.
Yeah.
So this is your journey. What have you learned from Devyn?
so many things. I mean, she is the strongest person. Well, I guess her sisters are pretty strong too. But no matter what card she's dealt, she is always smiling, saying thank you to the doctors, laughing, quick to dance, quick to smile, and just any challenge that she's given, she meets it head on. So, and always goes above and beyond. So it's kind of encouraged us all to do that with her.
What kind of help do you guys need to grow your nonprofit organization for other folks? What do you need?
So probably a question that's better answered if we had a little bit more background. Honestly, we're a high school sweetheart couple. I'm an active duty Navy sailor, and I've read probably, 50 books on nonprofit management and that, and just kind of learning our way through it as we do it. And along the way, we've met a lot of great friends that have kind of helped guide us in the right direction and have put us in touch with people that can truly lend a hand. And all the while, we're kind of building a family. I wouldn't say it's so much an organization as it is a family that are really, really close friends that are kind of united behind the goal of kind of filling a need where there isn't a resource to provide this help.
I'm going to ask you the same question. What do you need to grow this organization?
Sponsors for Counterpain.
There you go. Sponsors for your musical
For our
festival.
music festival.
Yeah.
Also, well wishes or thoughts we can pass along to the families we come in contact with to help them and to help all of us know that there are people thinking of them, people pulling for them, both the children who are facing these medical challenges and their families who, at the beginning of the journey just kind of feel like you're treading water and you're, just barely, getting by. So thoughts, sponsors, just spreading the word that we're available, and if you know a military family who has a special need and needs support or ideas or just somebody to talk to, putting our contact information out and letting others know that we're
Well, I hope it goes national. I hope you have a huge board. I hope you have so much money you don't know what to do with it so you can help military families in need. Amanda and Mark, thank you so much for coming on and talking about your lovely kids and Devyn. It's going to make a big difference in people's lives.
Thank you so much for having us.
When one this in, who's this girl? Spend all night kissing, and if one was right here, then who else is missing? Got a little sidetracked if I'm so wishing to find the keys to the door, but it's also a metaphor. Need to keep locked in the grocery store, but mine just to save time. Skip right ahead to the nice ride. The harder we look, the less we can see. Don't you know that you